business ya carpet si akagwirawo ya bugumiikiriza kubanga osobola okumala ne wiiki nga tofunye ssente.
Bakasitoma baagala bya layisi bajja ne bakutambuza. Twagala kulaakulanya bizinesi yaffe eno sobola okutuukira ddala waggulu nga naffe tusobola okwesuubululira ezaffe nga tuzigira ddala ku booda.
Bizinesi eno sobodde ogulamu poloti sinazimba naye nga nje matiriyo.
Amagezi gempa abavubuka baleme kuddeyo okwenyooma, basobola okutendekawo obulimu obutonotono nga beekolera.
We have fun time. Fun all the time.
And the change of government won't stop a thing. I've run out of fingers counting the number of multinationals setting up here. What about the 3 companies that announced their plans to launch last week? I say they're shopping. Me, I'd be looking to sell. At what price? More. Much, much more. I don't know who you are or how you know these things, but one thing I'm sure of, you're in the wrong job. Here, call me tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'd like to hear more from you.
Are you ready for your big break? The East African, understanding the region.
NTV, turning on your world.
Welcome once again. This is NTV and this is NTV at ONE. My name is Malcolm Sima. Let's have a look at the headlines first.
In fact, the United States pays for about 76%.
The US ambassador to Uganda calls on governments to value the long partnership they have had as the world marks World Health Day. And officers from the fire brigade rescue an elderly man who was found abandoned in a wetland in Kampala's Namungona suburb. And pro-Russian activists in eastern Ukraine have seized state security buildings in the cities of Donetsk and Luhansk. Welcome. Let's begin with a message from the US ambassador. The world is marking World Health Day to celebrate the anniversary of the founding of the World Health Organization in 1948. And the US ambassador to Uganda, Scott Delsey, has called on the government of Uganda to value the partnership the two nations have shared for the last 50 years. Delsey says it has become fashionable for people in Uganda to dismiss assistance from the US as ineffective and meaningless. Yet such help has registered progress in curbing serious diseases.
We seek to help this country become stronger, more prosperous, healthier, and more democratic. And as we move towards World Health Day on Monday, I would say that when we look at the health portfolio for the US government in Uganda, it's in excess of $430 million a year. What people don't seem to understand, and it's a shame, and maybe we need to tell our story better, but our commitment to the people of Uganda is real, and our engagement is real. There's over 500,000 citizens of your country who are alive today because we fund their antiretroviral drugs. In fact, the United States pays for about 76% of all the antiretroviral drugs that come into Uganda. I know it's become fashionable for some folks to say, oh, this aid is meaningless. It's being eaten by the NGOs. It makes no difference. But I'll tell you, the children who will live, the parents who are alive because of the antiretrovirals, for them it's not meaningless. For them it's life. And I'm proud of our commitment, and I'm proud of our engagement. And I don't measure it in dollars. I don't measure it in shillings. And the number of shillings, it's over $1 trillion. It becomes too many to think about anyway. But I do measure it in terms of the partnership that we bring and the commitment that we bring to the people of Uganda. And it's a partnership that's endured for 50 years.
Firefighters in Kampala have rescued an elderly man who was found abandoned in the sprawling Luigi wetland in Namungona suburb. The man couldn't explain how he got to the marshy area and failed to provide the officers with information to help trace his relatives.
Fire brigade yezze ne mujjayo mu mwala ate mutulekedde wano kati lwaki temulekeddeeyo ddala fene tutetenkanya ali naffe tuyambyeko kuba wuuyo owa boda amuwadde jacket kati yo fire ekoze eki kazende muzeeyi
akubidde paturo esaawa 2 ziyiseewo neyo kusatu genda kuyita kati tukole ki kati ffe tulina obuyinza bw'omutwala mulago bw'omutwala mulago bagenda kukwata gwakoze eki omugyewa ekyo nawo kirabirawo.
Very unfortunate old man, and the chief executive of Mukwano Industries says the differences in foreign exchange continues to eat into the firm's profit margins. Despite the company's expanding business opportunities across the region, Mukwano discloses that it has spent $50 million both for its commercial seed development project in Chiyandongo and the Acacia Mall in Kolaro.
Businesses, our import bills in the hundreds of millions of dollars. It's going to take a long time to do full import substitution, but the important thing is a start has been made. A start has been made. We bought 40,000 tons of locally produced oilseed crops last year. That's something. That is something.
Officials of Pride Microfinance and Kampala Capital City Authority have partnered to clean parts of Kamwoche Market as part of their corporate social responsibility. They have these pictures.
Thank you so much, and we assure you of continued partnership with you. Yes, thank you. Come out to carry out some corporate social responsibility with KCCA, but in particular with the Central Division, who host us. And we felt that we needed also to do something, give back to the community. Secondly, we also are appreciative of the way in which we've been hosted and welcomed in this area. We also donate the equipment. So to make it even more practical, like I'd communicated earlier, we decided to use the equipment and work with them, and then later leave the equipment with them.
Because when we have companies partnering with us and helping us make the city a better place, it brings a sense of not only pride, but togetherness.
Financial institutions there joining into the cleaning of the city. So we're going to take a breather and we have more news for you.
Lie down. Nurse, you left me here too. Just relax. Help my baby. Madam, don't stress her, baby. Just relax. Do you have any? Nothing.
Oh my God, this is my life every day. Can one midwife deliver 5 women at a go?
This is a call on government to recruit more health workers, especially midwives, and ensure adequate staffing of health facilities. This message is brought to you by Uganda National Health Consumers Organization and Voices for Health Rights.
We all have those beautiful, unforgettable moments
that are the highlights of our lives. With life's uncertainties, all these beautiful memories could become painful reminders of what was and what could have been. Fortunately for us, we have made one smart choice. We chose to secure what we hold dear. We chose to insure with the insurance company of East Africa, ICEA, standing by you.
Power theft can not only cause destruction of properties and power outages, but can also lead to death.
This is Meme Outage Report. To improve supply stability,
Speak up and report power theft. It's a crime and affects everyone. Let's unite against power theft and save lives.
This is NTV at ONE. Dozens of dignitaries and ordinary Ugandans gathered at Christ the King Church in Kampala to bid farewell to the former Labour Minister Stanislas Okrut at a requiem mass held in his honour. The deceased minister, who was the husband of Gender Minister Mary Karoro Okrut, passed away after succumbing to heart failure yesterday. The First Lady Janet Museveni encouraged Mary Okrut to stay strong in her trying moment. Okrut's body has been taken to their family home in Ntinda, where mourners will be holding a vigil. The burial will be held this Thursday at his ancestral home in Olwa village in Ngora district.
When I read the little thing, he was at one time abducted and kept somewhere and even shot at. And there is a little conclusion in the booklet that probably also that contributed, quickened the death of Okrut, which is also true.
Family, we thank God for every moment we shared with Papa. We greatly miss you, Dad. Dad, you are irreplaceable. We appeal to all of you to continue guiding and supporting us in everything we do.
I couldn't have stopped him from going away, but I said at least I was there. And even that morning he was teasing me. When I said take more porridge, he said, are you going to feed me forever? I said, why not, if the food is there and I'm there. And you know, I really, for me, I have no words for God. But I've been with him for 31 years. He becomes part of you. We have already missed him.
We pray for your comfort, that you'll be comforted. We wanted you to know that we always must understand. And what truly is comforting is that this is the only way all of us will go.
May his soul rest in peace. Moving on, an 18-year-old epileptic woman in Masaka district is nursing severe burns after she got convulsions next to a fireplace. The burns have scarred the young woman's face and disrupted her education. Our reporter Solomon Seranja takes a look at this medical condition and its treatment in Health Focus.
Health Focus is brought to you by Uganda National Health Consumers Organization and Voices for Health Rights.
Javira Narwada is an 18-year-old who has had epilepsy since she was 5. She began getting convulsions at a tender age, which have since affected her health and education. On the 1st of February this year, Narwada was left home alone with her 5-month-old baby after her father had gone for burial in the neighboring village. The young mother stepped out to prepare tea for her baby and experienced convulsions right next to the fireplace that threw her into the raging fire.
When I got the convulsion, I lost my consciousness. By the time my father returned, I was severely burnt.
By the time Narada regained her consciousness, she had sustained first-degree burns on her head and the entire face. She was immediately taken to Masaka Regional Referral Hospital for medical attention.
When we reached hospital, she was given immediate treatment. We spent 1 month and 1 week in hospital.
Her father, Vincent Kalema, requested that Narwada be discharged to continue with treatment at home. She is currently getting treatment, although her pain continues to persist.
I have a lot of pain when I lie down to sleep. My cheeks hurt whenever I lie on my side.
Kalema quit his job to attend to Narwada and her 5-month-old baby after the baby's father disappeared.
Her mother died and I have to take care of her and her child. But I do not have any help since I do not work anymore.
Narwada's condition is clinically diagnosed as generalized tonic-clonic epilepsy. Medical workers say that the condition is caused by abnormal electronic discharge in the brain.
Messages are transmitted from one part of the brain to the other through structures that we call nerves. So when there's a problem in the transmission of this, in the way how this nerve functions, or is in a layman's language wired, and abnormal impulses or electrical impulses come up, then we call that, it will result into a seizure.
Medical officers also offered advice on how to handle epileptic patients who get convulsions.
When someone gets a seizure, the first thing is to remove any dangerous objects that there might be. For example, if somebody is on a high bed, on a chair, make them lie down. Don't restrain them. Don't put anything in the mouth, spoons, forks, because you might hurt this person who is feeding, or they may hurt you as well as they are feeding.
Doctors also say that epilepsy can be treated to reduce on the number of convulsions.
Medications for treating of epilepsy, you take them for a long time. Some people would get controlled, would get cured of epilepsy. But some people, at the end of that time, when they begin to remove the medication to reduce, the seizures come back again. So they might need to be on medication for the rest of their time.
Epilepsy is a neurological condition which affects the nervous system. The seizures may be related to a family injury or a family tendency. Experts also say that it can be caused by prolonged infections like syphilis, HIV, and tapeworms. Epilepsy can also be caused by head injuries due to accidents, alcohol abuse, and diseases such as meningitis and measles. Epileptic patients often get neuropsychological effects, including poor memory, and are prone to migraines, anxiety, and depression. Solomon Serwanja, NTV.
Health Focus is brought to you by Uganda National Health Consumers Organization and Voices for Health Rights.
Thank you, Solomon. And let's have a look at what's happening in international news. Pro-Russian protesters have broken into the state security headquarters in the eastern Ukrainian city of Luhansk and seized weapons, prompting the police to close down all roads leading to the city.
Luhansk, which lies around 25 kilometers west of Russia, is a city where secessionist sentiment has sparked frequent protests since the country's Russia-friendly president was ousted in February. A crowd of pro-Russian activists stormed the security service building in Luhansk on Sunday. Local media reported that demonstrators pelted the building with eggs and then stones, a smoke grenade, and finally a firebomb. Separately, Arsen Avakov, the Ukrainian interior minister, said on his Facebook page that the regional administrative building in another eastern city of Kharkiv has been cleared of separatist protesters. Pro-Russian protesters also broke into a regional administrative building in the mining city of Donetsk on Sunday. Ukrainian authorities have accused Russia of fomenting the unrest. And in India, voting begins in the world's largest democracy in a poll which could spell end of ruling Congress Party's decade in power. Polls have opened in 6 of India's constituencies, launching the first day of voting in the country's 6-week general election. Today's vote will take place in the Assam and Tripura in the northeast before moving to other areas of the country in 8 phases. India's ruling Congress Party, which has held power for a decade, is expected to be defeated by the opposition Hindu nationalists after the country's 814 million strong electorate finishes voting on the 12th of May. Opponents of Congress are angry about low growth, rampant corruption and religious unrest under the current government. In Rwanda, President Paul Kagame will light a torch at a memorial in the capital Kigali to commemorate the 20th anniversary of the genocide in which 800,000 people died. The torch will burn for 100 days, the length of time it took government soldiers and Hutu militia to kill hundreds of thousands of people, largely Tutsi, in 1994. The ceremony follows a major diplomatic row with France that saw the French ambassador to Rwanda being barred from attending events marking the 20th anniversary of the Rwandan genocide. The French government initially announced that it was pulling out of the events after President Paul Kagame accused France, an ally of the Hutu nationalist government prior to the 1994 killings, of aiding the murder of 800,000 ethnic Tutsis.
I've just heard latest that President Museveni is addressing Rwandans at the Kwibuka celebrations. Now, moving on to sports, Lewis Hamilton said it felt fantastic to beat Mercedes teammate Nico Rosberg in their thrilling race-long battle at the Bahrain Grand Prix. And in football, Liverpool boss Brendan Rodgers thinks there's more pressure on Manchester City as the 2 Premier League title rivals prepare to meet next weekend.
Hamilton fended off a series of attacks to win his second race in succession. He beat Rosberg away from the start to take the lead at the first corner and fended off attacks from the German as they approached their first pit stops, and again at the end of the race after a safety car period when Rosberg was on faster tires. Despite racing wheel-to-wheel several times, Rosberg said he never felt they were going to collide. The race rather made those who had criticized this year's brand of Formula One as boring, not at least Bernie Ecclestone and Ferrari president Luca Di Montezemolo, look as if they were speaking out of their exhaust pipes. Most bookmakers have said this was the best drive of Hamilton's career. A case can be made for Silverstone in 2008 when he dominated the wet conditions to win by more than a minute.
Lewis Hamilton wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. It's a 1-2 finish for Mercedes once again. Back-to-back victories within a week for Lewis Hamilton. His first win in Bahrain and his 24th career victory to match Juan Manuel Fangio. But Sergio Perez brings Force India a podium finish.
Liverpool are 2 points clear of Chelsea at the top after Sunday's 2-1 victory at West Ham. Manchester City, who beat Southampton on Saturday, are 4 points behind Liverpool in third, with 2 games in hand. Liverpool secured a 9th successive Premier League victory as they won at Upton Park, and they are closing in on a club record of 12 straight league wins set between April and October 1990. Rodgers' side are the only top-flight team yet to lose a league match in 2014, putting together an unbeaten run of 14 games. City captain Vincent Kompany said on Saturday's edition of Match of the Day that Liverpool were the best team he had faced this season. Rodgers has yet to beat City since taking charge at Anfield in June 2012, with both of last season's league meetings ending 2-2, before Liverpool were beaten 2-1 at the Etihad Stadium on Boxing Day this term.
The Premier League title race is on, and Man United also will be playing Bayern in a comeback match in the Champions League. But more in sports coming up, and Ismail is already here with David and Alan to take you through all the sports global and locally coming up on Moody. Enjoy your lunch. That was NTV at 1.
NTV, turning on your world.
Smelling nice and being tough can go together. The freshness of fabric conditioner is now combined with the best ever stain removal of Omo. New Omo, best ever stain removal with fabric conditioner freshness.
Did you know that
it was so easy for me to secure a job and a driving permit?
Getting my passport and crossing borders was so easy.
It was very easy for me to acquire a loan to build my business.
It's inevitable, a must-have, a necessity of life, and it's free for any Ugandan. Remember, this process begins in April 2014. Simply go to your nearest parish, register, get your national identity card. It is that simple, and it's open to any Ugandan from 16 years and above. This message is brought to you by Ministry of Internal Affairs and the multi-sectoral agencies. My country, my identity.
Sights and Sounds is brought to you.
We went to the movies. I forgot my wallet, but my brother sent me money.
I pretended not to notice.
Every day was a celebration.
Sights and Sounds is brought to you.
We went to the movies. I forgot my wallet, but my brother sent me money.
I pretended not to notice.
Every day was a celebration.
Every idea we have begins with you. The way you connect.
Good morning.
How you browse. How you share. And how you interact with the world around you.
Your relationship with your God is the most important thing.
Have a company of people who have got a similar mindset.
How do you want people to think, feel, and act after your talk? In other words, what's your objective?
You inspire everything. Because in the end, innovation doesn't really matter unless it does something that really matters to you. And we are HTC.
Today's highlight with
New geisha with extracts from Mother Nature.
Bring me off a piece of that funk. Everybody, bring me off a piece. Just a schizophrenic. Bring me off a piece of that funk. Hey man, but we gotta hurry up, cause I just made reservations for 3. Me, Officer Berry, and her handcuffs.
I forgot the little pickles. Everything is ruined. Boss lady, calm down.
My mom always wants what's best for us.